Hey, what's up, world? I'm Sway, and this is what people love about hip-hop. It's the bravado-fueled tradition of MCs battling it out with words. It's been a part of the tradition of hip-hop since day one, and it's what helps sets rap apart from other forms of music. So whether you're a hip-hopper, a sports fan, or a pro wrestling fan, everybody loves a good grudge match. And for the next half an hour, we're going to take a look at one that's turning out to be a classic. Now, since September the 11th, New York has been in a pretty strange place. And now there's finally signs that everything is getting back to normal. People are free to feud again, like the war of words between two of the city's biggest music stars, the king of Brooklyn's Marcy Projects, Jay-Z, versus the poet of Queensbridge, Nas. Now, it's a battle that's the latest in the tried and true tradition of hip-hop, and as you're about to see, as competition often does, it brought out the best lyrically between Nas and Jay-Z.
It's a ill lyrically war right now.
I think Jay on top right now.
I'd like to hear some more.
Eat the joint. He straight killed Jay-Z on that one.
Hold up. Just how did this legendary battle erupt? The fuse was lit at New York's radio station Hot 97's 2001 Summer Jam. The long-festering rivalry between Jay-Z's Rockefeller camp and QB's finest blew up on stage when Jay debuted The Takeover.
He starts doing the Takeover. No one knew what that song was, all right? He does the first verse, The Takeover. You hear the background, the little Jim Morrison Doors sample. Come on! Dum, dum, ba-dum, do. Everyone's like, okay, but they're listening to him.
I don't care if you mob deep, I hold cruise. You little I got money stacks bigger than you.
He had the verse that dissed Prodigy. So he said that verse and tried to clown him, and the crowd loved it.
But then at the end of the line, he goes, ask Nas, he don't want it with Hov.
Ask Nas, he don't want it with Hov. No.
The crowd went crazy, like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, it's like, okay, now it's on.
At that point, Jay-Z's finally acknowledged that he doesn't like Nas, that there's a conflict with Nas, and he said it.
Nah, I wasn't surprised by Jay at the Summer Jam. He knew that this is a point in his life where he can make himself official. That was a big step for hip-hop, no matter who he dissed or whatever, and that's good.
Good, but not over.
Boom. About 3 weeks later, Nas drops a beautiful freestyle called Stillmatic.
With the release of Stillmatic on mixtapes, Nas took his argument back to the streets.
H to the Izzo, M to the Izzo, push Izzo, you phony, the rapper version of Cisco.
When Jay did the Summer Jam, you know, everybody's in the streets is like, yo, I know you're gonna get at him, so I got at him with the freestyle joint.
Your fake rhymes and no times that never took place, you liar. Un was your first court case. You had no prize.
I'm sorry, it was that small, but he touched the nerve.
Although it was a stinging track, Stillmatic failed to create a buzz. When Takeover was released on Jay's Blueprint album, his new verse responded to Stillmatic and made the opening blow at Summer Jam seem like a tap.
Had a spark when you started, but now you're just garbage. Fell from top 10 to not mention at all.
He comes at Nas hard from all angles. He comes at it from the perspective of like, from a fan, kind of. Like, you know, like, your last album was, he broke it down, how Nas fell off.
If I was to get at somebody on that level, I gotta make sure I come with my best.
Smart enough, Nas. 4 albums in 10 years. I could divide, that's one that be, let's say 2. 2 of them was due. One was Nas, the other was Illmatic. That's a one hot album every 10-year average, and that's so.
I'm not being lazy with it. I'm not playing around with it. I'm gonna do my research and I'm gonna come back with something real serious, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be hot.
I'm sorry, but anyone that heard that knew that it was like, oh, that's it, it's a wrap. Nas is out of here.
In the very beginning, when I heard Takeover, I personally didn't think Nas could come back.
But Nas was far from KO'd.
You a fan, a phony, a fake, you stand, I still whip your ass.
And I knew that eventually people want to hear what I gotta say.
Were you abused as a child, scared to smile, they called you ugly?
Dressing it right so I could let them know it's not happening. It is no takeover.
No takeover, but there was an invasion as Nas's response song Ether spread through the underground via New York mixtape king Kay Slay.
Put Ether on the tape and it just went wild.
It was a spanking. People didn't expect that. No one expected Nas to come back.
I am the truest. Name a rapper that I ain't influenced.
After the Ether, that's it. New York was on Nas's back. People who were Jay-Z fans on Friday were Nas fans on Saturday.
And by December 11, 2001, the battle was blazing. A week before Nas's Stillmatic LP and Jay-Z's Unplugged albums were set for a head-to-head release, the two MCs would be drawn into a battle of the beats on a New York radio show.
Hot 97 blazing hip-hop and R&B.
Hot 97 has this exclusive Jay-Z song, Super Ugly, that's a response to Ether. Nobody's heard it, hasn't been on any mixtapes. They're gonna play it on the radio for the first time, so it becomes like a big event.
Jay-Z's response today at 3 o'clock, tune in, it is on.
And the whole city shuts down.
If you was in New York at 3 o'clock on that day, you had to tune on the Hot 97.
The anticipation is big.
A few minutes after 3 o'clock, you know, we hear the response.
Damn, I'm only worth over 100 million. Look, I got beef with like 100 children.
Unfortunately, it wasn't up to par. Super ugly.
Jay-Z said it was just a freestyle. It wasn't an answer to Ether. So the last person in the world I'm gonna underestimate is Jay-Z.
You have to feel like the battle really isn't over. It doesn't seem like there's a finale there.
This is hip-hop in its purest form.
Rap is a competitive sport. That's how we build it.
And there's always gonna be a battle about who's the greatest.
Now, another result from the back and forth between Nas and Jay-Z is that it shook things up a little bit. It added a breath of fresh air to what, for the first part of 2001, had been a fairly flat year for hip-hop. But what that meant is that the battle captured the attention of rap fans and hip-hoppers everywhere.
I think this may go down as one of the greatest battles of all time.
I know kids come into stores like this, juiced about verses that they've heard battling against who, this guy battled this guy, and they come in fired up because these cats are battling.
Two of the greatest rappers battle each other, and people get excited of music like that.
It's hot, man. That's what hip-hop need that, you know what I mean? That's one of the essence of rap. You know, the battle.
Joe, we need some fun in this, man. Back in the days, you know what I mean? You had Kane doing it, you know what I mean? You had L doing it.
That's how it all started. Different crews battling against each other, and that was kind of like the essence of it. You know, who had the better skills, the better lyrics, you know, who was the best crew.
It's amusing, it makes people laugh, it sells records, so it's good in that sense.
Martin Luther King said, talk it out. We just making it rap, we just making the lines rhyme.
And Nas is very creative and Jay is creative. But, you know, it all depends on when the battle is won, who's the last man standing. And, you know, right now, everybody's standing.
Nas and Jay-Z have had a lot to say in this battle, but are their claims true? Right after this break, we're gonna read between the lines and try to figure out who's got the facts right and who doesn't. Welcome back, glad you're still with us. MTV News Now special report, taking a look at Jay-Z and Nas and their battle for lyrical supremacy. Now, as we saw earlier, the war of words between these two rappers really seemed to take off when Jay-Z performed the line from the song Takeover back in June at a New York radio station Summer Jam concert. But the artistic battle traces back to Rockefeller artist Memphis Bleek's debut album. On his first album, Coming of Age, Jay's protege Memphis Bleek released a song featuring a verse from Jigga.
Jay put a verse on one of my records, on my album. What you think of that?
What you think of that?
And the hooks blatantly say, I'm a ball till I fall. What you think of that?
I'm a ball till I fall. What you think of that?
Now that track, for some reason, struck a chord with Nas, prompting the Queensbridge MC to cite Bleek's lyrics in his own song.
You want a ball till you fall, I can help you with that. You want beef, I can melt in your hat.
By blatantly referencing Bleek's line in his response, it appeared that Nas was challenging him.
A lot of times rappers listen to other rappers' lyrics and they feel like people coming at them, they're very sensitive and they feel like sometimes rappers are coming at them indirectly.
And rather than a face-to-face confrontation, MCs generally take it straight to the mic. And so, Bleek responded on his single, My Mind Right.
I don't got no personal feeling against the man. Like, he cool, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing against him, but you throw a line at me, be prepared, I'ma throw one at you.
Your lifestyle's written, so who you supposed to be? Play your position.
And on one of the key lines in that record, he said, your lifestyle's written, well, who you supposed to be? Play your position. And of course, you know, everyone knows Nas' second album was called It Was Written, so people took that as a diss.
Now, by referencing this album title, Bleek let the world know that he was talking about Nas and questioning his credibility.